What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Endzone. It's your boy Craig with my co-host AC, here to talk about football this season. And we have a great show for you. We're going to be talking about all season. We're going to be talking about games and trades. We'll be talking about bye weeks and rivalries. We're going to be going through injuries as they come up, coaching staffs, big upsets, big plays, bloopers, those bad plays. We're going to be talking about players, whether they're causing drama, whether they're playing well, whether they're sucking, whatever the case may be. We're talking about them refs when they make them bad calls, because we ain't never going to be talking about no good calls. They never make no good calls. But we're going to be here talking about football all year long. You can check out our show on YouTube. I'm going to get you the YouTube channel ASAP. You can check us out on Facebook. We'll be posting our page. We'll have other people posting our page. And then, be on lintv.org. So, watch us, check us out. It's going to be a good time. But you got to know a little bit about us before we get going. If you've watched my show, you know I do the flex. I talk about fantasy football. But I love football. I'm the fan. And you got my boy, he's the player. He's going to introduce himself. This is AC.
My name is AC. I'm the player here. I played football all my life. I played in high school. I played on a collegiate level. And I'm just going to give this segment from a player standpoint. Me and Craig will go at it. There's going to be some things where he might not like what I say. I might not like what he say, but
I might intentionally not like what he says just to not like it.
But at the end of the day, we're going to test each other's knowledge. But at the end of the day, I'll be giving it to you from a player standpoint, as Craig will be giving it to you from a fan's point, and we're going to make this thing work.
Yeah, man, we're really excited. Two guys who just love talking about football, and that's all that matters today, That's all that matters on this show is that we just love talking about football. We're going to try to give you the most unbiased opinion we can, but we're always going to have a little bit of opinion when it favors the teams that we like, And
absolutely. And if you have things you want us to talk about, there's things that we might bring up on the show, so don't be scared to Facebook us, DM. If you see something that you think we could work on, then let us know.
Yeah, we love hearing feedback, and we also love suggestions. If you have a stupid suggestion, we're just going to ignore it. But if you have a good one, it might get brought up on the show, and we might even, might credit you. Probably not, but maybe.
Maybe.
So with that being said, I'm the fan, he's the player. The first thing we want to talk about is the top 10 things we're most excited about this season. So I'm going to go first with my number one most exciting moment for the NFL this year is going to be seeing the Cleveland Browns. With the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., that just skyrocketed them to playoff contention. But don't forget, after season 8, they've also acquired Kareem Hunt. And that is going to make a two-headed monster with Nick Chubb in the run game. And it's going to take some pressure off Baker Mayfield. And I think this is going to be a really exciting offense. But they've also already had a great defense last year. They've added some pieces. They got Vernon from the Giants. They've added a few safeties. And I think it's going to be really exciting football coming out of Cleveland this year.
So you're bandwagon jumping.
No. I have actually been a fan of Cleveland for the last 3 years. Okay. It has been kind of a bandwagon situation, but not necessarily in the way that it just happened this year.
I always liked Baker. Ever since Baker came in, before he came into the league, when he was in Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
I knew he was going to be something special.
Oh, see, now
and I was waiting all season last year. I was waiting for something to happen so he can go in. And he got his opportunity. He shined.
You know what? I think actually didn't give him. I didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. I thought he was going to be Johnny Manziel all over again.
No.
But the kid shows that he's a true player. And he's a true, team.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner. But he also has that loyalty. You know what I'm saying? How mad he got when Hugh Jackson left because he's loyal to his team. And that's something that you can't train that. Yeah. Can't train loyalty. So I'm excited. I didn't really pay much attention to him in college. I don't really watch college football that much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna lean on AC when it comes to college players because I don't have that much knowledge about that. I watch the NFL. So what do you got for number 2?
Me, number 2, my thing is I'm most excited to see what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of things going on over there. AB's tweeting with Juju, and they're going back and forth. So I'm most excited to see what happens over there. Pittsburgh always have a good team, great coaching. But I think they might be a 500 team this year. I don't know.
500 team sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
500 sounds about right.
The thing is, with Juju out there and AB not out there, now Juju has to become a star. How much of a star is Juju?
I think Juju has star quality.
Okay.
I think Juju can give that number one wide receiver performance. I actually think he was held back by the presence of AB and that, I love AB. He's my favorite wide receiver, but the diva quality that he brings.
But that actually, you could say he's a diva, absolutely agreed. But on the field, and you're playing the wide receiver position, and you have someone like AB, and someone like AB, he's getting double teamed every play.
Yep.
And you're the backside receiver, so that means you're on man-to-man coverage. That changes the game.
That does change the game.
So now when you're playing versus Pittsburgh this year, Juju will face that same double team that AB was facing.
And what will he do with that? What will he do? That is see, this is why I brought this man on, because he comes from a player standpoint, and he's able to see things from an eye that I might not be able to see. Because in my mind, I'm just thinking, man, Juju's just gonna be able to go off.
He got it. I liked him at USC. He was tough at UFC.
He is a tough wide receiver, and I like I said, you can't take away from that. From what AB did, because even in double coverage, he was still performing. So now when you're going to have that AB coverage, are you going to be able to do what he did? And that will be – I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see Connor again. Hopefully he's 100% and he gets the ball and shows that there's a reason why they didn't sign Le'Veon Bell back. So
I think they're gonna bring someone. They gotta bring in another back.
You think they're gonna bring in another back? Do you have any opinion on who that might be?
I don't know yet.
All right.
That's later on.
Okay. So number 3 for me is gonna be Oakland. I'm really excited to see what happens with Oakland, and this is what I'm excited to find out about is if they move on from Derek Carr. Josh Gruden made a big move last year, moving on from Khalil Mack.
But he didn't agree with that move, though. If you saw something recently, he said like he
cried
cried or something like that. So why would you do that if you want to cry for days? That doesn't make any sense.
Dudes break up with girls break up with a cheating man all the time. You know what I'm saying? And they're not happy about it, but they knew it was for the best.
Yes.
And maybe and he got some draft picks. He got rid of Amari Cooper, and the team didn't necessarily thrive from that, but the players thrived. So they went somewhere else where they could do better, and that was good for them. I just want to see, because it seems like he wants to just rebuild the team from scratch. And you can't rebuild a team from scratch when you got a quarterback that's been there the whole time. So
I honestly like Derek Carr a lot, but at the end of the day, Gruden got to catch up to speed. This ain't the old school NFL no more.
Yeah, no.
I felt like he came in demanding things and got rid of his best player to set a statement. But that wasn't the best move if you saw what he did. Like, Mac had the last laugh at the end of the day.
As did Amari Cooper.
As did Cooper. You know what I'm saying? So these guys have the last laugh. So
to me, that almost
tough.
says, though, that because Khalil Mack gave them the performance that he gave them the same way he did in the Bears. But Amari Cooper was not playing very well in Oakland. He had one good season, but then he goes to the Cowboys, and it's just like Shine City. I think that Derek Carr might not be as good. Either Derek Carr is not as good as he seems, or he's not being coached as well as he needs to be.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I love that. You have a player who's terrible on one team, great on another, great on one team, terrible on another.
He was great on that other team because that other team had arguably one of the top 5 running backs in the game.
Yeah. I say that all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
A good run game opens up the pass game.
He was surrounded by, we won't say great receivers, but there was okay receivers.
Yeah.
So he had a chance to perform rather than, I'm telling you, it's different when you are the number 1 man and then you get traded to go to another team and you're number 2.
Yep.
Different offense,
and
different
Amari
style.
Cooper was expected to be the number 1 man in Oakland. Yeah. But I love, as soon as I heard he went to Dallas, I got excited. Matter of fact, it was funny because I play fantasy football, and someone had just dropped him onto the waiver wire, and then the news dropped, picked him right up.
You got him?
Yeah, he ended up being my
score.
Yeah, he ended up being my number 1 receiver for the rest of the season.
You can't beat that.
All right, so you got? What do you got at number 4?
At number 4, I'm not a fan of them, but you always gotta like them because I'm from Massachusetts, so I want the Pats.
Of course.
Brady and the Pats. We gotta see the excitement with them. And the thing that always blows my mind is like if they win a Super Bowl, nobody talks about them. Then they start going in the playoffs and people talk about them. It's like you always got to talk about the Pats when you're talking football. And it's like right now you hear nobody talking about them. Not what they're doing, not maybe if they're going to trade a draft pick or not. They could be one of the teams that trade a draft pick or something. But I think they're up to something. Something's cooking in Foxborough, and I want to know.
Yeah, there has to be something going on because one, you made like some pretty like odd moves and you picked up 2 wide receivers that unless you know football, you don't even know these guys' names. Nope. Like you don't know who they played for, you don't know what they're capable of. And I know I always say this that Bill Belichick's like a kingmaker. Okay. So like I think that he has the ability to turn an average player into a star because I wholeheartedly believe that, Julian Edelman on a different team would not be
the system.
Yeah, it's definitely the system. So I am excited to see who they pick up. I have this strange feeling that they might try to go after Michael Crabtree, which to me isn't like a big, bold move.
Crabtree's good.
Crabtree got hands for days, and he knows, he knows how to play a system. He knows how to get separation, and he can fight for the ball. So I'd be excited to see that happen. But yeah, you gotta always bring up the Patriots when it comes to football because the Patriots are football.
They are football.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to say that's what I'm most excited for. One of them.
All right. Another team I am excited to see, and it's more of a curiosity, is Kansas City.
Ooh.
You have arguably what could be the up-and-coming best quarterback in the NFL. I think Patrick Mahomes is bringing up like a whole new style of the game, with his no-look passes and his just ability to move the ball. And he's an exciting player, but now
he's playing under who though? Who's his head coach?
What is it? Andy Reid?
Yes.
Yes. So
Andy Reid is a player's coach.
Yes.
Andy Reid lets Patrick Mahomes goes out there and have fun.
Yes. And he's playing well with that. But now you don't have Kareem Hunt. Is Tyreek Hill going to get to play this year?
Oh, he's real deal, yeah.
No, but is he going to get to play?
Oh, yeah.
Because he has
he'll come back 7-8 weeks.
And then what does that do to the team? Does that drop them out of playoff contention?
No.
Can Patrick Mahomes make do with what he has? Because after Travis Kelce, what does he have? Did they re-sign Sammy Watkins? Because I haven't seen anything yet.
They're going to. They haven't yet, but I think they're going to. But it's, again, a system. Andy Reid's system works in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Again, we're talking about winners. Andy Reid is a winner. He was a winner in Philly with Michael Vick and them guys and Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, at the end of the day, this is what Andy Reid does. That team will be a playoff team. They get their stuff together. And it's going to be a fight between maybe them and New England.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and Cleveland. I think Cleveland going to make that playoff spot, man. I find it hard to believe. If you don't make it to the playoffs with that team, then, I feel like your entire coaching staff needs to be fired and then, just start building from scratch all over again.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know how you have Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Antonio Callaway, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt don't make the playoffs with Baker Mayfield leading the path.
But they could have. If you watched them last year, so if Baker Mayfield was a starter last year, you don't think they would have maybe went to the playoffs, per se?
I think if Baker Mayfield started the season, yes, absolutely they would have made the playoffs. But you know what? A lot of people didn't say anything about this, and I actually did, is I believe Tyrod Taylor got a raw deal. If you look at the way that they played Tyrod Taylor, they kept trying to make him use his legs. But as soon as Baker Mayfield came in, boom, moving it down, throwing it downfield.
You got two different style of quarterbacks, though.
But Tyrod Taylor he can throw accurately. He's not like he wasn't a bad passer. When he played in Buffalo, his passing was accurate.
Not in the pocket, on the run.
Yeah,
not
on
in
the
run.
Pocket. Yeah, maybe on the run. But I don't know about in the pocket, but. I just know that I feel like Tyrod Taylor got a raw deal. I think he was better than what they played him out to be. But, now he's a backup for the Chargers. We'll see what happens there. All right. So next for me, who am I excited to see? You don't have Baltimore on your list, do you?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm excited to see what happens in Baltimore because Lamar Jackson came in, and it was all about using his feet. He didn't really get to showcase his arm that much. I'm hoping that smart coaching is going to have them develop his arm.
Okay.
Because if he can develop his arm and they could put some weapons around him, one wide receiver they have, Willie Snead. I really like Willie Snead.
He's an underrated player.
He's a big-time underrated player. When he played for the Saints, he was just nasty.
Again, underrated again.
Yeah.
But it's like, this guy, did you watch him in Louisville? He was throwing the ball 60, 70 yards on a dime.
Oh.
He has an arm.
He does. Yeah. But he
just
throw it far.
He gotta learn pocket presence in the NFL. Because when he's in the pocket, he gets sacked all the time. So he got to know to get rid of the ball, throw the ball away. You know?
He has to make quicker decisions.
He's the type of player where he hasn't learned. He's a guy that was so elusive that, like, in college, he couldn't be stopped. In NFL, you could be stopped because you have the linemen running 4-4s and 4-3s. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So you got to learn how to, when you're in the pocket, feel that pressure coming and throw the ball away.
Yeah.
You know, save yourself some time, save yourself getting hit. Well, Tom Brady's good at. If he's in the pocket and he feels pressure, what he do? Lay down, take that sack, and he throws the ball away.
Okay.
So these young guys thinking.
Tom Brady also knows how to audible out of coverage anyway, right from the beginning.
But a lot of these young guys that's used to running, they call it the Michael Vick style, used to running, they always think they can use their legs and get away. Like, not in NFL. You're not doing that.
Unless you're Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's great at that.
Yeah, he's slippery. Or Drew Brees. Drew's good too.
Yeah, I like Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is pretty athletic, dude. But that's the reason why he's always getting hurt, man. That dude just, like, you know, learn a thing or two from Brady, man. You gotta stop taking them hits.
He said he wasn't 100% last year too.
Yeah. He was talking. I'm like, all right, man, don't make excuses.
Nobody's ever 100% in football.
Yeah, how can you be 100% in football, man? There's no way. So yeah, I'm excited to see Baltimore, and they got Mark Ingram. That's what because now you don't know, is Lamar gonna run off, or is he gonna pass off to Ingram? Is he gonna fake the run and then screen to Ingram? That's dangerous.
I just want to see what Ingram is going to do
with the starting job. Yeah, I think he earned it and he deserved it, because I think it got stolen away from him in the Saints because he got injured those first 2 years. He was hurt for a while, and then.
But they don't see. This is what they say, in football. We don't say stolen away, because if you get hurt, you go down, it's next man up.
Yeah, it is next man up.
So if that next man up is producing, he ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
And that's why you see guys go through, like, concussion protocols. And it's like, when it comes to NFL or college, you're so quick to go back on the field when you're injured, because of the simple fact is
you don't want to lose your
job. You don't want to lose that job.
Yep.
You don't want to lose that scholarship. You don't want to lose that money. So at the end of the day, you're playing hurt. And that's why I said, like, this guy saying, "Oh, I wasn't 100%." Nobody's ever 100% in football,
because they want that job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. So what do you got for what is it? 6?
Number 6. I got, where would Kyler Murray go?
Where would Kyler Murray go?
I like the guy.
I like him. He's not my favorite.
He's not your favorite?
No, my favorite is Dwayne Haskins.
Haskins.
Yes,
oh, man.
I think Haskins goes to the Giants, and I think that's a perfect fit for him. Here's the thing, there's all this talk about Arizona going after him. That's a big mistake in my mind. Nick Bosa, you'll have the strongest defensive line in the NFL.
Nah, you gotta go. Kyler.
You think he's gonna be franchise quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You
see what Baker's doing, right?
Yeah. You think he can pull off?
Where
he
come from? Not to mention, this is what people forgetting. The head coach of Arizona comes from where?
I don't know.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
He was a QB coach of Baker Mayfield. He was a QB coach of Kyler Murray.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Kyler's going to Arizona.
Yeah.
He's going to start. Rosen's going to be a journeyman in the NFL somewhere.
I agree with Rosen.
I saw that on your last show, too.
Rosen is going to be a journeyman.
See ya.
Yes,
he's gone.
All day.
But I heard you say week 8 or 9. I'm like, no, like week 1 or 2.
Really? You think that fast? Okay.
That fast.
See,
if you watched football last year and you saw what Baker Mayfield did when he came in, and now you have a guy that's similar to Baker Mayfield, come from the same system as Baker Mayfield, and he also has his coach.
Plus, he also played baseball, and
that's what I was going to say. Like, all the guys is two-sport athletes. You know that, like.
And if the best quarterbacks in the league played baseball, they were pitchers. So
only thing about him is a little undersized, but
And that's my problem. At 5'10", like, you're gonna have a hard time seeing over that line.
At 5'10", you have him roll out, set your feet, and throw down the field.
Okay.
Don't sit in the park and get killed.
So you think it's at number 1 overall, Arizona, not Nick Bosa?
Nah.
Oh man, I just think that for me it's like you get that defensive line. You
I
got the
think
best.
Bosa's overrated because of like
His brother?
He comes from a family of athletes, a family of NFL players. So it's like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like the Gronkowski's type. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, all the
that
Gronks
family-
were,
yeah.
they were all overrated except for the one.
Yeah.
But then you have like the Watts, T.J. Watt. You know, he came in beast mode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So my next for number 7 is going to be Nick Foles playing in Jacksonville. So I have mixed feelings about this situation because Nick Foles has had plenty of opportunities to prove that he's a starting quarterback.
Absolutely.
You know,
agree.
he's had plenty of opportunities. And every single time he's been given an opportunity, he's dropped the ball. The one time, we'll even give him 2. We'll give him the 2 times that he performed. It was under basically zero pressure in a situation where it was already set up for you to be good to go. And, you know, the sun shines on a dog's ass once a day, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, he had the best game of his life in the Super Bowl, and he beat out Tom Brady. And then the following year, he got his team to the playoffs, fell short. But
was that on him?
Huh?
When he fell short, was that on him?
I don't know. Was it on him?
That was tough coaching.
Yeah, well, I think that altogether, I don't know that Nick Foles. I know this. Nick Foles could be a starting quarterback, but not at $22 million a year.
I think he is a starting quarterback, but yes, he was overpaid. Mm-hmm. But in Jacksonville wasn't a bad team. Jacksonville was just missing something.
A quarterback.
And Nick Foles could be that something.
He could be that something because anybody who can play in the NFL has an ability to play at the highest level at that position if properly coached.
Yes.
And the Patriots prove that all the time. I'll always go back to that. The Patriots prove that the right coaching can make a player great. They proved it with Amari Cooper in Dallas. As soon as he went to Dallas, his production. Now you also credit that to the fact that you have Ezekiel Elliott, and they'll have. He's going to have Leonard Fournette there, which is definitely a bonus for them. Who's he throwing the ball to?
Who they got over there for receivers?
That's what I'm saying. Cole, Keelan Cole is there, and what's his name? DJ? No. D.D. Westbrook?
Yeah.
So
D.D.'s nice.
He is nice.
Another Oklahoma boy.
He is. Yo.
D.D.'s nice.
D.D. is nice.
D.D.'s
and
nice.
Keelan Cole can be okay. Keelan Cole kind of remind me of like, what's his name? Not Allen Robinson, Allen Hearns, you know.
Hearns is over there too.
Hearns.
Oh, no, Hearns didn't get.
Yeah, Hearns is over in Dallas and broke the crap out of his ankle in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't expect him to play this season. But yeah, I like him. I like the move. I said it all off season. Nick Foles should sign to Jacksonville because Blake Bortles is a bum, and I think it is so funny that he's a backup to Jared Goff. Like you're a backup to a third-year quarterback, man. He's gonna become another journeyman.
That's how they do.
Yeah, I think the better move for him would have been to go to the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Eli Manning's days are done, man. I think that they got to move on from that guy.
Well, guess what? That's next on my list.
Boom! Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Giants without no OBJ, no offseason moves. What are they doing?
I don't know. They had one offseason move where they trade Vernon for
It wasn't nothing significant.
No, it wasn't anything significant because I can't even tell you who they got.
And then it's like all these young quarterbacks. You got like 4 or 5 quarterbacks in this draft. Mm-hmm. You don't say, "Hey, Eli, time to retire. Let's build around these guys."
You know
what? You already got a running back.
Yep.
You had OBJ, a good receiver. Mm-hmm. So if you you could have brought in a defensive player, wouldn't have been bad, or you could have brought in another young receiver to help them guys. And the receiver core was already decent.
Yeah, it was. You get
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was great, man.
And Barkley already, he proved himself. And
Barkley
you choose Eli over OBJ.
Yeah, to me
that brings around that. I'm gonna tell you this as we're gonna say from a player standpoint.
Yeah.
As a player standpoint, and you see that, your confidence is shot. Like, really, they really got rid of OBJ. Like, for an
unknown first round pick. For an unknown first round pick.
I don't care what ruckus you causing. You could say diva. What? pay the man, keep him happy. But come on.
Yeah. I will say this, though. The one negative about Odell is that he's not a leader, man. I don't think the way he acted this past season, you know, kicking like knocking over the kicker's neck.
That's like frustration.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
but
people see it as oh, he's being a baby. Nobody knows how hard it is to go out there, run routes, and be wide open, and you're not getting the ball.
Yeah.
Not even saying there's times as a fan,
yeah,
you don't watch the game and you be like, wow, OBJ was wide open. What is Eli looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, he got sacked, he fumbled, scoop and score. There's games where Eli gives up 14 points, 21 points himself.
I think it's fair to have that reaction when you're Sterling Shepard or Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram. I think it's fair to have that reaction, but when you're the guy people want to look to, and when you're supposed to be the leader, you're frustrated, but you need to place that frustration somewhere else and maybe flip out in the locker room.
But people forget that they're human beings too.
Yeah, that's
Athletes
true.
is humans.
Yeah, they are.
You know, like it's tough to be out there and, like I said, do what you do and not get the ball. And it's like, I could see if they was producing and they was winning games, but you're losing too on top of that. You're not getting the ball and you're losing. And there's games where you have 2 or 3 touchdowns and you still lose.
Yep.
You know how bad that is?
That's
you know how
terrible.
bad that hurts to be out there and you're balling.
Yep.
Your fantasy guy, his fantasy numbers is good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
He's top with everybody else. But then you got Eli who's throwing. Then has many touchdowns or picks. His touchdown to pick ratio is horrible.
That's why I
Every
said
year.
I like Dwayne Haskins going there, man. Dwayne Haskins is I think number 6. You go with Dwayne Haskins. You give Eli Manning 6 games to get him up to speed. You know what I'm saying?
But you already proved you want Eli by getting rid of OBJ.
I mean, if that's what it proves. If that's what it proves, I think it should. Because if they draft Dwayne Haskins, then does that prove that maybe they didn't want OBJ or Eli? Maybe they just want to start fresh? Because they
do that,
yeah,
respectable.
Yeah.
But if they don't get him,
no, that's gonna be bad move.
Or another quarterback.
So they have to draft a quarterback. They have to draft a quarterback, and it needs to be in the first 2 rounds. Like if it's not Dwayne Haskins, then you have to find a way to get Drew Lock or Daniel Jones.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen over there? It's gonna be like a Brady situation. I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be a Brady situation. Whereas,
6th round pick?
No. They're gonna bring in anybody, whoever, backup. They're gonna wait till Eli Manning get hurt. That backup's gonna come in balling, and they're gonna be able to pull that guy. It's gonna be one of those situations.
Like the Brady or like the Kirk Cousins effect.
Yeah. It's gonna
because Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like they want the guy, and we all know he's horrible.
Yeah, he's horrible.
He should have been out the league with his brother. When his brother retired, he should have been out of there like the next year or 2.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah, year or 2 tops. What's crazy is to think
you got your rings.
I know you got 2.
You got your money.
2 undeserved damn rings. I hate him so much.
Big time players make big time plays in big time games. The receivers made big time plays.
Yeah, they did. That was so bad because he closed his eyes and threw that ball up, man. He closed his eyes and threw that ball up. It makes me so mad. I'm gonna
for number 9.
I'm gonna let you run with number 10 right now because I'm still percolating on what I got for number 9. I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I didn't prepare for number 9, so I'm gonna let you take over on that one.
So what I got is for number 10 was the pass interference review. I'm not excited for that, but I think that's taken away a part of the game. I feel as though the Saints got jerked. We all know that. But
big time.
If you watch any sport, anything, people get jerked all the time.
That's what I say.
So it's kind of like you put that into play. So if it's say at the end of the game, you down 3 points, game on the line. You got the ball on the 40 going in, so you're going 60 yards to score. Your quarterback throws a Hail Mary in the end zone. You get pushed and you drop it. That play's reviewable now. So now that means you get the spot foul. So now that means from the 40, you get it at the half-yard line to go into score.
Yeah.
Because they're going to give you a chance to run one play whether the clock is on 0. you still get that chance to run that last play because it was a penalty and the game can't end in a penalty.
So let me ask you this, though.
That's horrible.
Have they clarified the rules? Because my problem with this is, so it's on calls and no calls.
Yes.
So does the no call turn into a challenge? Because you can't because then you have to review every single play. Every play where two players, where there's a defenseman and offensive player catching the ball, you're gonna have to review it to make sure there's not pass interference. And I think that if you're gonna allow for the replay, I think it has to be in the challenge. I can't imagine like every pass interference call being reviewed. I think it has to be if it's a thing where they have to throw the challenge flag, then I'm okay with that because that's fair. Because if you would have had that, then the Saints
give them
go
an extra
in the Super
challenge
Bowl.
then. Instead of having 3 challenges, give them 4.
But allow it to go towards call and no calls of pass interference.
You can't do that though. So in basketball, you're gonna no call travels and double dribbles and up and downs and.
But if it's a challenge, it wouldn't happen all the time. It would only get to happen 1 to 3 times in a game.
Yes, if it's a challenge, but you're challenging a no call. How do you challenge a no call? A no call is a no call. That means they didn't call it. So that's what I'm saying. It's so confusing and mind-blowing.
Well, I was going to say, isn't like an incomplete pass that gets called complete. Technically, it's a no call, but it's not a no call. It's called as a reception. So that wasn't
So basically,
fair.
if you throw an incomplete pass, and I felt like I'm being held, you could throw a challenge flag and challenge that now. People get held all the time.
True.
So
but
how
it would
am I
have
supposed
to be
to play?
worth the risk. It had to be worth the risk to throw the challenge flag. You know what I'm saying?
Not necessarily, because as long as they see that was a pass interference, then they get that challenge back. Mind you, when you throw a challenge.
No, you don't lose a timeout. You don't get the challenge back.
Oh, you won't lose your timeout. Okay.
Yeah. You just lose. You just don't lose it. If your challenge fails, you lose the timeout. But if your challenge passes, you keep your timeout. You lose the challenge.
Okay. But even still, it's like you're challenging a no call.
Yeah.
That's like so hard.
I'm playing devil's advocate right now because I actually do agree with you on the point. I'm arguing the opposite point just because it's happening.
Yeah.
But when I saw what happened to the Saints, I was like, wow, that was just terrible. But I also said that's football. Yes. And Patriots have lost games. In playoffs and in Super Bowls. Like, for instance, the game we lost to the Eagles. Corey Clement caught that pass in the back of the end zone out of bounds.
He did.
Now, that play should have been called right. He would have been out of bounds. That's a no touchdown. But at the end of the day, both teams were scoring at will. Maybe they still would have scored again. We don't know. But maybe we win that game if that touchdown doesn't get scored. But guess what? That's football.
Yeah.
So that's where I agree with you. At the end of the day, football's football, and eventually you're going to make so many changes that it's no longer going to be the game.
And then it's bad already because, it's almost like for NFL, it's going to be like a lot of points, like fireworks, a lot of points scored because on defense, you can't hit them now because you're going to get fined, penalties, and all that.
Yep.
Now you're saying I can't run with you and, there's ways, coaches teach you defense by hip checking, your arms go up, knock them down. There's things like that strategies and things like that you get taught at a young age.
Yeah.
And you got to just go into the NFL and lose all of that because the littlest touch can be called, even if the ref don't call it.
Exactly.
So now it's not only is you worried about the refs now you're worried about the 12th man.
Yeah, the game is getting slowly destroyed.
Might as well play flag.
Yeah,
I do every weekend.
You literally just ripped that thought out of my head that in 10 years, less than 10 years, the NFL might go flag, and that'd be a sad day for football.
Yeah.
Be a sad day for football. So I am gonna just throw it out there. I tried thinking about it, but my thing is I want to see what happens with Le'Veon Bell on the Jets.
Oh, I like that.
Because here's the thing. I think that secretly the Jets have they got a squad. They got an awesome receiving core. They have these guys who are sneakily good. Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
As a quarterback, he was the most ready quarterback, but he just didn't get the opportunities. I think, there was maybe some bad coaching decisions.
Yeah.
But, Robbie Anderson, Like, he's good. If
Yeah.
Quincy Enunwa is healthy, he's a dangerous wide receiver.
I think they could be a playoff team.
Yeah, and then Herndon.
Yeah, Herndon. He's
Yo,
all right.
he is gonna be a tight end.
Yeah, they can do all right. I think that it's just their division though. They play in a tough division.
Yeah, man.
So it's like you got to bring it every week, week in and week out.
You just have to settle for if you can make it, you got to settle for the wild card position because we're gonna get that number 1 slot. But I think it's. In my opinion, I thought it was a mistake for Le'Veon Bell to sign to the Jets. In my head, I had him going to Indy. Because could you imagine Andrew Luck, Le'Veon Bell, T.Y. Hilton, Eric Ebron, and then they got Devin Funchess? That team would have been...
Could have been something special.
Something real special. But I think being on the Jets gives him an opportunity to prove his star quality all over again.
Yeah.
You were out for a whole season. A running back came in and did exactly what you could have done.
Let me tell you this. That Jets team's going to be dangerous.
And they have a decent defense too, man.
Yes.
And I feel like it's going to get better with this coming season. The Jets are going to be a formidable team.
They are.
I think with an exception for Miami, I think our whole division is going to step up a little bit this season. Because, I mean, even Buffalo, they got not big names, but Cole Beasley and John Brown on the same. Like, I think those two guys, 2 slot receivers, are guys who just make these little big plays. Like, you know, they have all these little plays that end really big. And I think that, you know, with Reuben Foster, you know, Buffalo could be a good team. I think our whole division, with an exception for Miami, has the opportunity to do some really cool things.
Yeah.
All right, so those are our top 10 expectations for the season. Next, we're going to move on to a topic that I'm kind of happy to talk about. You know, we had the Super Bowl, we had the Rams, we had the Patriots, and you know, some people might say it was a boring or a whack Super Bowl. But I think from the point of view of a football fan, if you are a real football fan, you saw a defensive chess match, and it was awesome. And you know what? I felt like that game was low stress. You know, you just got to watch it for the fun of watching football, at least from a
People
Pats
was
fan.
mad because a lot of people took the over in that game, but at the end of the day, who cares? Like,
I don't care about the betting.
I'd rather see a great game like that.
It was incredible to watch. Like, you had 2 high-level offenses not doing any, like, bring it down the field, punt it, bring it down the field, punt it, bring it down the field, kick a field goal. It was just like you're never going to see a Super Bowl played with such high-level defense. Because, I mean, the Patriots versus Atlanta and the Patriots versus the Eagles were great because they were high offense, but that was just because the defenses were playing so poorly. And you want an evenly matched up game. That's what makes games so great, is that the defense and the offense are playing just as good. And I think that's what happened. I think you had a good offensive game. It's just the defense wasn't letting them score.
Yeah, and that's football. Defense wins championship, offense wins ball game. So it's like, I'd rather see a defensive game all day. It could have been 3-0. It's a Super Bowl. Hey,
you know,
points don't have to be scored.
And they put up offense.
It's a grind game.
Yeah, it was. Oh man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the question to you. I'll say what I think after, but I'm gonna put the question to you. Who has the best chance to repeat?
I would say the best chance to repeat would be the Rams.
Yeah.
Only reason why I'm saying the Rams is because of division-wise. I think the Patriots, I think they're loading up in the AFC, so I think it's going to be very competitive. Like we just talked about the Jets. Like, Jets is going to make noise. Teams like that, teams like Jacksonville, they're going to make noise. So it's like to play in that division week in and week out is going to be tough. But I think, like I said early in the show, it's the Patriots. You always got to talk about them. You always got to expect that. And that's why the only reason why I'm going Rams is because they're NFC team, and I think that's the only reason why. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I mean, I always want to say the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. To think that the Patriots are not going to the Super Bowl, you're actually going to be wrong more times than you're right if you say the Patriots aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl each year. I mean, 5 years, 3 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls? I don't know. Some crazy number.
You start to lose count when you live out here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a funny stat. I don't know if you ever heard this stat, but before, I think it might even be, before last year, there was a stat that the Patriots had a better chance of making it to the Super Bowl than the Cleveland Browns had of winning a game.
Oh yeah. That was like 2 years ago.
And it was like, but it was like
And they only won like 1 or 2 games that year too.
No, they didn't win any games. Cleveland hasn't won. They haven't won a game in like 6 years.
Yeah, that's the game that
the stat was over 10 years. Like that stat had gone over 10 years. Like I think they only brought it up like 2 years ago. But like that stat was like a running stat of 10 years that the Patriots had a better chance of making it to the Super Bowl than Cleveland of winning a game.
That's why.
And now Cleveland's on a tear to possibly make it to the playoffs with the squad that they have. But I will say the Rams, and you call me crazy if you want. I feel like maybe you might agree with me on this, but I've said this a few times on my other show. You might not have had a chance to hear it, but I think that Jared Goff and Sean McVay are the new Brady and Belichick. More so on the McVay side than on the Goff side, but Goff has shown
Goff proved his worth.
Yes.
He definitely proved his worth.
And he's shown that he could be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think with a coach like that, you might be looking at the new Brady Belichick.
I think it was I don't know if you watch it, but what was exciting to me is seeing them on Hard Knocks. You watched the show Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I watched it last year, and I watched the year before that.
Did you see the year that they was on it?
No.
The Rams? So that was like his rookie season.
Yeah.
And it was cool just to see their relationship and things like that. And you could tell, like, they was developing a star over there with him. And it's good to see. It's definitely good to see.
I think he's gonna be a fun quarterback to watch. And I think that his talent is only going to get better. And I don't think you've seen the last of Jared Goff in the Super Bowl, and I don't think you've seen the last of Jared Goff in multiple Super Bowls. That's just a strong Ram team. If they can keep Gurley, they can get Gurley for the long term.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, Gurley and Goff, I think, are the two pieces, along with Aaron Donald. If they can keep those 3 pieces on their team, then they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. All right. Now it's time for this is my favorite part of today's show. I want the way too early Super Bowl prediction. 2 teams that you believe are going to make it to the show. And if you want, you can decide who's going to win. But I put it to you, sir. Who are the 2 teams you have?
My 2 teams, my way too early. This is just early now.
Way too early.
Way too early.
Way too early. Dumb early to be making this decision.
We're going to go AFC.
Yep.
KC.
Okay.
Kansas City. Given, like I said, I love Andy Reid. I love that guy. And given what he's doing over there, I think it's his time. I think, Tom's going to do Tom things, but I think they
learned
after
their
last
lesson.
year, they learned their lesson.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna be all right.
Okay, I like that. Even though their run game is not what it was last year, that doesn't bother
They
you.
have time to build on that.
Okay.
It's a long season.
And you know what? I will say this: with the right plays and if healthy, Carlos Hyde is a beast.
He's not bad. He's not bad. It's just and like when he was in San Fran.
Yeah.
He was that every down running back.
Yeah.
Now out in KC, he don't have to be that every down running back.
Yeah,
you don't have to give him the ball 20 times a game. He could touch the ball 10, 15 times a game and get 100 yards for you because that's what type of running back he is, especially with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. And that helps him, that compliment. And he could dump it off to him because Carlos Hyde, he got hands off the backfield.
Yeah, he does.
You get what I'm saying? And that was kind of like his game in San Fran where he caught a lot of passes off the backfield. So
now I'm also wondering the breakout star of Kansas City, Damian Williams. He came out of nowhere. Like, he was on Miami, and you probably didn't even know his name. And then he gets the call to come in because,
next man up.
And he stepped up, man.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see what he does this year. Like, is he going to be – do you think he'll be a factor or do you think he'll just fall back? Because they had that same thing.
I think he'll be a factor, definitely be a factor. He has to be a factor.
But they had that same thing with Niles Davis. But Niles Davis only got to step up when the starter was down. But when he came in, he performed high level.
But Niles Davis wasn't. He was.
Yeah, but when he came in, he did his job. He did his thing.
We'll see.
And then, he didn't really do too much after that. But, all right, I like that. And who you got for the NFC?
I'm going with the Saints.
Yes.
I feel like after they got, we could say cheated. We could say they lost the game. We could say football's a game of
inches. They got the shaft.
I think they're going to come back with revenges. I think they're going to add on to what they already got. They need to add on to that defense. I think they're going to bring a couple of DBs, couple of safeties or corners to help out that defense, and I think they could be all right.
And you know they got Jared Cook.
Yes, I do.
Oh, man.
And I always loved Drew Brees. Always been my guy.
Yeah.
I loved him ever since, Hurricane Katrina and seeing what he, even when he, going back to San Diego when he didn't get a chance like that. He did all right, and then he ended up going Hurricane.
People forget that he started in San Diego.
Yeah. San
Diego must every day must be just kicking themselves that they got rid of. And you know what else that makes me mad? Because I love Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
I love Drew Brees. And I'm a fan of the Saints. I love a lot of things.
It's just
going
the
on
culture,
there.
I think.
But nobody talks about the fact that he's only a year younger than Brady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have as many championships, but I don't know if that's necessarily his fault.
If you look at it, and this is why, because you're a fantasy guy, and if you look at this, Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. Bill Belichick's a hell of a coach. Tom Brady only outshadowed Drew Brees because of championship.
Yeah,
so if you look at numbers, stats, Drew eats them.
Yeah.
But then again, Drew Brees also throws the ball 40 times a game compared to some games Brady might throw it 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
But for the majority, it's kind of like balance. He
Yeah,
might throw it 30 to
balanced,
20, But Drew's throwing that thing 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
And even with the running backs he had, he just dump it off to him. So their pass plays is run plays. You get what I'm saying?
And they haven't always had a high-level defense. Their defense, I feel
their defense always been average.
Yeah.
Average.
And I think that's probably the reason why they don't have as many championships.
Yeah.
Because they've always had a low-level defense. Because, I can't think of a time where the Saints had a bad offense. Since they've had Drew Brees, I don't think they've ever had a bad offense.
It's like roll out the football, and if you score 50 on me, you beat me.
Yep.
If you don't, I beat you. And that's how it is watching the Saints.
Yeah.
If you know this, because you got to score to beat them. Mm-hmm. And their defense is going to give it up.
And it's crazy. Last year, I think some people forgot about this too, is that their only loss was weirdly to Tampa Bay.
Yes.
That you lost
but
the first game
that
of the
day,
season.
Tampa Bay, how many points they scored?
Yeah, it was
crazy.
54 to 50 or something like that. It was stupid.
You score 50, you beat me.
Yeah.
If you don't score 50, you lose.
And it was a last end of the game win. But that's another team that I think it's either badly coached or Jameis Winston is just really not a good quarterback because
I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, because how do you have all those weapons and not make the playoffs?
And they try to build around him, and they give him chances. It's not like they're not giving him. A lot of teams you can be like, oh, yeah, he didn't get the fair shot. But he got his fair shot.
Oh, he's got many fair shots.
Yeah, so.
I just don't think he has that decision-making quality. I think he makes poor decisions.
Yep.
So, all right, my turn. And mine is going to be way different. And mine is going to be on the side of if it happens, you're going to be like, holy shit, Craig said that. Because I don't think anybody's going to call this. So first, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. Ooh. And this is halfway me being a Cleveland fan because I love underdogs. I was calling Jacksonville being great when they got, before they even got Leonard Fournette, when they had just the strong defense. I called Oakland being great back when they had Amari Cooper, Latavius Murray, and Derek Carr. I knew they were going to be good in that season. If Derek Carr didn't break his ankle, they'd have made maybe another round into the playoffs. And then Cleveland for me. I knew Cleveland was going to come up.
Carr.
I do like Derek Carr. I do like Derek Carr. I just think that I don't know if he's on the right team. I think maybe a team like Washington or Arizona, maybe a trade. Maybe they trade Arizona trades for Derek Carr for a second, third round pick.
Well, look
I don't
what they
know.
brought in for him.
But I like Cleveland because I believe wholeheartedly, and I think everybody who watches football and knows football knows that Cleveland makes the playoffs had Baker Mayfield started the season. That's just fact right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This kid is extremely talented. He proved me wrong. Odell Beckham is now going to have a quality wide receiver with wide receivers that are going to take coverage away from him because you cannot leave Jarvis Landry open, and Antonio Callaway can break down the field.
That's his bro, though.
Huh?
They play college ball.
Yeah,
together.
and you can't in that type of dynamic that
They're the same style of player.
Yeah, man. So now you're gonna have all three of these guys, and then you add David Njoku with that big, strong tight end. I think it's gonna be a very dangerous offense. And their defense last year was nothing to sneeze at. Like, their defense was quality, and I think they're only gonna build on that this year. Like, the only things that they need to address in the draft is defense.
Yeah.
And I think that they do that, and they make it to the playoffs. And my second pick, I don't think is a far off option to go with, but I think that they made great moves offensively, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. Getting Amari Cooper was the best decision the Dallas Cowboys have made, next to drafting Ezekiel Elliott and getting Dak Prescott so late in the draft. Because where'd they get him, in like the third or fourth round? Mm-hmm. That was a gem. It was a hidden gem. And Dak Prescott brought life back into Amari Cooper, and then they just got I can't believe I forgot who it was. Randall Cobb. They got Randall Cobb. Now, Randall Cobb is not like I don't think he's gonna be a breakout star, but
he's good.
He is good. He's gritty.
But you got to see how he do outside of playing with Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
Because that system.
Exactly. So I think that Randall Cobb brings a veteran quality. And I think that Jason Witten is going to be more about star quality than star performance. He's going to come in, and I think, he's been gone a full season. I mean, and he's been,
he should have stayed gone.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think the reason why I like him.
What could he do for them?
He can bring up the tight ends that they have. He can teach them his knowledge.
Why not come back as a coach than a player?
Because he's a football player and he just want to play football. I'm not expecting anything special from Jason Witten. I like him coming back just because they have rookie tight ends, second year. I think they have two second-year tight ends.
Second-year tight ends, yeah.
And I think that you can't get any better of a learning experience than from a man like Jason Witten.
They just gave Williams, the linebacker. They didn't just give him a contract?
I think they did. Yeah, they
just gave him a contract.
You're talking, Leonard Williams, right?
Yeah,
they just gave him a $100 million contract, something crazy.
I just saw it as I was leaving the house. I was like, wow. Like,
$65 million guaranteed.
I think it was, I just heard Williams. I just heard the last name Williams, and I wasn't. Yeah.
They had to give him that contract because he is the focal point of their defense. Like, he's the leader. And he's he sets everything else in motion.
What about the young kid?
The linebacker?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know his name. I can't think of his name right now, but he is a monster.
They still drafted, even though he broke his leg, and they still drafted him, and he came back. And he was making noise. He was getting sideline to sideline. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either.
Too, but yeah.
But he was awesome. I'm gonna look that up while we're talking. So that's for me. I'm going Cleveland and Dallas. We got Kansas City and Saints. I like Saints. I don't know about Kansas City because making it to the Super Bowl is a big ask. It's a big ask.
Write it down. Throw it in a helmet.
All right. So we are running low on time, exceptionally low. So my boy is going to send us out, and he's going to give you a little bit of a preview of what we got next week.
So preview for next week's show. Lock in. Tune in with us. We'll be talking draft talks. We'll be talking about possible picks and trades, like will New England trade a draft pick for somebody. We're going to figure that out. We're going to talk about some stats about these young guys coming in for the draft, stats and more. Next week's show is when we pick our
we're going to do our draft picks.
Yeah, we're going to do our draft picks. So that should be interesting, our draft pick, because I know mine is going to be way off from his. I already heard some of his. But so all year long, tune in with us. We'll be talking summer camp trainings. We'll talk preseason, regular season, playoffs. We're gonna be here with you all week long. Talking NFL. We're gonna be here all year, and we look to have fun with you guys. Look to get feedback, and give you updates and our opinions on things.
Absolutely. And is it Leighton Vander?
No.
Or is it Vander-esque? No? Not one of those guys? Mm-mm. Oh, well. Guess we don't have them. All right, so we're going to be here all season long. We're going to be here every week. We're going to give you content, and hopefully I'm also going to have, some guest spots, and we're also going to have a Endzone girl who's going to be giving us top plays of the season. So we have a lot of stuff coming up for you. It's going to be a really fun show. I hope you look forward to watching us. I look forward to you guys checking out our show. And until next week, I'm Craig. This is AC. This is the Endzone, and we'll see you in the end zone. Have a great night.